You have to show up every day intentionally to do the right things for yourself that your heart is calling you to do if you want to reap the benefits later on in life. Like, you can't just sit here and make excuses and let this time pass you by and wonder why you're not getting to where you want to go. Stop saying you're manifesting your dream life, or stop sitting there chanting abundance. Stop sitting there hoping that these things are going to just materialize into your life without giving maximal effort every single day. Show up with a plan of how you're going to execute, right? Block out the distractions, get rid of the things that are going to thwart your clarity and prevent you from really having that vision, and then have the balls and the courage to take action. Okay, welcome to the Unstoppable Mindset Podcast. I'm your host, Sean Michael Crane. We're down here in Pierpont, California at the Wonder Mouse Productions studio. Shout out Wonder Mouse Productions. Love coming down here. It's a beautiful day out, man. It's a beautiful day to be alive, driving down here. Sunshine and palm trees, man. Cali living is good. And so I'm fired up today, man. So many great things are taking place in life right now. So many things that I dreamt of for so long. You know, it's crazy, like, when you're living the life that you once envisioned or dreamt of. And for me, I stop and pause often, and I just think, like, damn, dude, I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I'm living that life that I wanted so badly. I'm living the life I prayed for. I'm living the life I dreamt of. I'm living the life that I envisioned for years. And so I want to talk about manifestation today. You know, I want to share with you a process that's transformed my life. And I want to really break down, like, what manifestation is, because I think it's misconstrued, like the law of attraction, manifestation, all these buzzwords, the word abundance. Like, people throw these words out there and phrases, and they have no idea what it means. These individuals are like hoping that something's going to be gifted to them, wishing like that their life is going to be easy, and their dreams, their goals, their results are going to be handed over. At least that's the way it comes across when I see it. Manifestation is not you sitting there chanting and humming. Manifestation is not the world giving you things without you earning them. Manifestation is not you, like, holding crystals, chanting abundance, like doing all these things, and then suddenly you just attract the best life that you ever wanted, the life that you deserve. Like, you know, it is and it isn't, okay? You attract people into your sphere of influence. You draw people into you based on who you are. But you have to cultivate that motherfucker for years before people even recognize you, before they can feel that energy, before they're drawn to you in such a way. So manifestation is simply gaining the utmost clarity so you can really understand what you're here to do on this earth. Like, the clarity to the point where you know definitively who you are and what you're made to do. And that grows over time. But the second piece is what allows that clarity to expand and your vision to get more clear, and that's action, okay? Without action, there are no results. Without action, there's no such thing as manifestation or law of attraction or any of these buzzwords that you hear. Manifestation simply means to create. If you look up the definition in the dictionary, manifestation means to create. So in order to create something new in your life, a new outcome, results, whatever it is that you want, you first have to get clear on what that outcome is. That's clarity, right? Knowing what you want, being honest with yourself, being willing and courageous enough to articulate that truth. Most people have a truth about who they want to be and what they want in life, yet no one else around them knows, because they never talk about it. They never acknowledge it because it's scary. It brings forth apprehension. It brings forth fear, insecurities. All those things that have held you back in the first place are exacerbated. So you probably have a feeling from time to time about a change you want to make. Maybe it's in your job. Maybe it's in your relationship. Maybe it's just for yourself on a personal level. Like, so many guys tell me, Sean, I just want to be taking action. Sean, I just want to be more consistent. Sean, I just want this. I just want that. But they're not doing it. Like, you know who you want to be, and you're not taking action to become that person. That's crazy to me, right? But I was once that way. I was that way for 10 years. So I know this internal battle and this dilemma all too well. For 10 years, I knew I wanted to be a better version of myself, yet I stayed stuck and held back. Why? Why did I do that? Why did I waste 10 years of my life? Why did I procrastinate? Why did I make excuses? Why did I hold back? Why are you? Fear, doubt. Those are the two things that plague most people, is fear and doubt. Fear that it won't go your way. Fear that you're not good enough. Fear of judgment, and doubt that you're capable, but you're capable. And those fears are only real when you give them power through inaction or certain actions, okay? And I reiterate that statement and phrase a lot because I want to hammer that home for you. Like, that's the fucking truth. So what changed my life is, number one, being put in a jail cell where I had time to think. Number two, sobriety. Over time, being stuck in that cell with all of those hours just dedicated to self-reflection and in that solitude. And then being sober, I felt my mind come alive like never before. And I started having this clarity about my life and who I wanted to be. Like I never had clarity. I never had a vision. I was just living moment to moment. And so if you're somebody that's taking in substance, if you're somebody that's, watching TV and always looking externally, distracted on your phone, you're not going to have clarity. If you're drinking, if you're smoking, if you're abusing food, you don't have clarity, okay? Internally, you're just in a low frequency, low vibrational state. And the result is lack of clarity, lack of inspiration. So once you start cutting that shit out of your life, you'll start to have more vivid thoughts or feelings about your life. You'll start to think differently, right? Because you have that vision, that focus starts to become enhanced over time. And then the next step is to take action, though. You have to act upon those things. If you don't, nothing will change. So I want to talk to you briefly about my process and what I've done from that jail cell to this point, what I continue to do every day that literally helps me manifest my dream life. You hear people say that all the time, but are they living their dream life, or are they just waiting around hoping it falls in their lap? I'm actively creating this life every day. And what I do is I get up early every morning, 4:00, and I don't have anybody to talk to. I don't have anything I need to do. No pressing urgent matters that are going to pull my attention outward. I reflect. I just sit there and I'm present in the moment. And there's something about coming out of that deep sleep. Your mind's still coming alive. Your brain waves, your brain frequencies in delta and alpha, which is low, deep sleep. It's a slower thought process. When you get going throughout your day and you're talking, you're having conversations, you're in beta. Beta is highly focused, interactive. And when you're in that state, you're focused on the person you're talking to or the task at hand, but it doesn't allow you to peel back the layers and look deeper within self. That early morning hour allows you to do so, but not if you jump on your phone, not if you start looking on social media, not if you start answering emails. You have to be intentional with how you start your day. And for me, this is a game changer. This has changed my whole life. I literally just sit there and I'm just present in the moment. And I'll journal and write things down that come to my mind. I'll start just really checking in with myself. And then I always like to go out and do a run or a workout. And it's when I go and do my runs, I'll be running. And I've already had, 30 to 60 minutes of self-reflection. Maybe I've written some stuff down. Maybe some ideas are starting to come up. And then all of a sudden out of nowhere, boom, I'm just struck with, infinite intelligence. Literally, as I'm running, I'm just getting these downloads from the universe. I'm just getting these intuitive thoughts, these ideas, creativity, spontaneous thoughts, passions, energy, all these things that I want to do in my life. They just start streaming my consciousness. I'm getting thoughts about how I want to show up for my family, a trip that I'm going to take them on. I get thoughts about business and how I want to change something or structure something. I get thoughts about people that I want to hire. I get thoughts about stages I want to speak on. I get thoughts about connections and people to reach out to. And it's this flood of information. Where does this come from, right? This didn't happen to me in the past. Well, I've really got rid of anything that's going to restrict my clarity. I don't do drugs, don't drink, don't fucking eat food for pleasure and numb myself by, just binge eating. I don't watch porn. I don't watch TV. I don't scroll on my phone aimlessly. I don't do all these things that would distract me and really thwart that clarity that I need, right? So over time, I've conditioned myself to really be tapped in and connected on a deeper level. So when I go out and run and I get this surge of information, I don't just think about it and then let it just dissipate. I literally run home as fast as I can so I could write this stuff out. I've been on runs in the dark at 5 a.m. while your ass is sleeping on my phone on Google Docs, typing stuff in. I remember one time I was running and it was literally 5 a.m. and I had my phone out and I was on Google Docs doing voice dictation the whole time. I literally just articulated everything that was coming to mind onto a Google Doc while I was running. This is how powerful these thoughts and these visions are for me. And then so when I write it down, it's because I have to capture this information. If I don't, it's just going to dissipate. Like I said, it's just going to come and go. And that's what a lot of people do. They have a feeling within about who they want to be. They have an idea, but they don't act upon it. How could you just let this idea, this creative energy flood your being and then just let it vanish? You have to capture it somehow, some way, and act upon it. That's what manifestation is. It's the act of creating these inner feelings, this truth, and this calling that you possess until it manifests into something real, like a tangible fucking object, a goal, money, marriages, businesses, whatever it is that you want to acquire. That's what manifestation is. It's the tangible product that you create first from a vision, right? Then through relentless action, then you manifest something that's real, okay? So if you don't have that in your life, you're not manifesting, the law of attraction is not working for you. You're just sitting idly and wasting your life away. So I always go home and I write this stuff out. I write it out. I write out what the outcome is. I write out the idea that I got. I write out whatever information came to me. But then I break it down into actionable steps. Like, okay, I got to call Tom. Oh, I got to reach out to Joe with this text. I got to send this email out. Oh, I got to, message Matt about some stuff that he's going to do in the business going forward and how I want to, help him level up, whatever the case may be. I want to take my family on a trip. Like, let's book these plane tickets to Hawaii. That's the first step. Let's get the plane tickets. Like, that's how our trip to Maui came to be. It was a thought that came to me that I acted upon. Let's take my in-laws. They deserve a vacation with us. Like, act upon that stuff. See, so many people have those feelings and then they second guess themselves and then they talk themselves out of it. And they never act upon it because they start letting fear and doubt dictate how they're showing up. You can't do that. You have to circumvent that process. So the reason that like the exercise component, I told you this happens when I run or work out, is so crucial because when you exercise, you elevate your frequency beyond that fear and doubt. Now you have clarity of focus and you're just revved up. You're fired up, right? And so you can circumvent that bitch voice. That bitch voice is the doubt and fear that tells you, oh, don't do that. Money's tight right now. Oh, don't do that. What if it doesn't work out? Oh, that's kind of risky. Maybe you should wait. Like, that's the voice that keeps you stuck in life. And you're listening to that voice. And every time you do, you're conditioning yourself to continue showing up that way in life. No wonder you don't have the results you want. You have to learn how to tap into your inner thoughts, that truth that you possess, and then circumvent that fear and doubt by raising your frequency, elevating your internal state through action, through movement, and then you have to act upon that truth. And that's what I've done for the last 10 years, and I continue to do it every day. Every single day, I go through this process. And I mean, it's not easy. It's an act that you must put forth every day that requires effort and initiative. For instance, this morning, I'm going to do another podcast today because I want to dive into this subject a little deeper, but just really about like discipline and why it's so important in life. But for instance, this morning, I didn't want to get up, didn't want to drive to the gym, didn't want to run. Like internally, I was just battling. I had all these excuses and reasons why I didn't want to, but I knew if I just got up and got to the car and then got in the car and drove to the gym, like things were going to start going my way, right? So I'm talking myself through it and I'm getting, one step ahead at a time, one step further to where I want to be. By the time I get to the gym and I start running, I start feeling better, right? I start feeling better. Body's tired, mind's tired, but I finish the run, then I go in and do a shoulder workout. And as I'm getting through the shoulder workout, I feel even better. Energy's coming, clarity's there. That bitch voice is starting to dissipate. Then I go jump in the sauna for 20 minutes and the cold plunge for 5. I got out of the cold plunge, I feel like a fucking superhuman. Like I could go run a marathon right now. Whereas 2 hours ago, before all those endeavors, I didn't feel that way. I was tired. I needed more sleep. My body was aching. I had all these excuses. Now, why did that transformation take place? Well, I pushed myself to do difficult things that made me feel good about who I was. And that elevated my internal state from, being a bitch or guilt or shame or, all these low level vibrations and emotions we experience to feeling proud of who I was, to feeling grateful for my life, to feeling motivated. And all the while I'm talking to myself positively. I'm pumping myself up. I'm being my greatest advocate. So by the time I go through that whole process, I feel amazing. Now, in the midst of that, what do you think happens? That's when you get the clarity. That's when the ideas hit. That's when the intuition strikes. And then I act upon it. I write it out. I make the calls. I set the messages in place. And then literally every single day of my life is that process. So for those of you listening, like your greatest life is going to be derived from you moment to moment making the right choices. You have to show up every day intentionally to do the right things for yourself that your heart is calling you to do if you want to reap the benefits later on in life. Like you can't just sit here and make excuses and let this time pass you by and wonder why you're not getting to where you want to go. Stop saying you're manifesting your dream life or stop sitting there chanting abundance. Stop sitting there hoping that these things are going to just materialize into your life without giving maximal effort every single day. Show up with a plan of how you're going to execute, right? Block out the distractions, get rid of the things that are going to thwart your clarity and prevent you from really having that vision, and then have the balls and the courage to take action. That's today's episode. It's all about how to manifest your dream life. I'm a byproduct of this process. I'm literally living the life I dreamt of for 10 years while I lived in a jail cell. I battled addiction. I come from a broken home. If I can do it, you can too. But you have to recognize that it takes hard work every day and you have to want it bad. Like you have to create it for yourself. No one's going to give it to you. And there's a big misconception with my age group and people younger than me that things are just going to be handed to you, right? Like the government's not coming to save you. Mommy and daddy can't take care of you forever. People aren't just going to give you things. Like you got to earn it. You got to go out there and get after it. And when you do, you love yourself because you're the one that's taking control of your life. You're the one that's bringing that vision to life, like to reality. And one day you'll be walking around and you'll be like, damn, I fought hard to get here. Damn, like It was not easy to get here. I earned this life. I earned this career. I earned this relationship. I earned this body. I earned this living existence. Man, I love you guys. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Let's go crush it.